Today I want to talk a little bit about Raynaud's disease or Raynaud Syndrome. Raynaud's disease is that your extremities get really cold. So that includes your fingers and your hands, your toes and your feet, your ears and your nose, that kind of stuff. It can get really, really cold. And when I feel really cold, I don't really feel happy. So I decided to seek some help. I went and seen my GP. Surely he knows what it is and what to do about it. So he decided, oh, it's probably Raynaud's disease. I've been to him twice actually. So the second time he came up with that and he brought it up and he printed it off for me. It was quite interesting because it looked like I had all the symptoms, like my hands, my fingers were getting white and then they turned blue. My nails went blue really easily. Same with my feet, but they'd be encased in socks and shoes, so you don't really whip them off to have a quick look. But he says the main thing to do is to take medication, and I'd have to take that medication for the rest of my life. Now, I'm not one to take medication. I really shy away from that. I'd rather do other things. So he suggested the other thing you can do is avoid the cold, like wear gloves, etc. And if your hands do get really cold, run them under the hot tap. So that's really looking after the symptoms, but it's not really treating the cause. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll find my own journey, which I did, because a couple of years ago I noticed that overall my body is actually a little bit warmer. So my hands are a lot warmer, and that's really awesome. My legs are a lot warmer. My feet do still get cold if I stand around too long on the cold floor or something like that. It is winter after all in New Zealand right now, and I have to make sure that I wear gloves. I make sure I wear thermals, etc. So I do everything I can to look after myself and still stay warm. Of course, my hands get cold if I get the food out of the freezer and I rummage in it a little bit too long. But, you know, that goes for everybody. Everybody gets cold hands in the freezer. I've also noticed that when I get really cold, I really tense up my muscles. So when I notice that I'm doing that, I have to make sure I relax my muscles, and instantly, magically, I don't feel as cold. So that's a really good tip. Try it yourself. You just got to be aware of when you're doing it. But yeah, that's how you shiver. That's how when your muscles are really tense, that's how you shiver. Anyway, so have a look at that. Relax your muscles and magically you'll feel slightly warmer. So my hands and feet used to get really cold, and then I did some work for a friend of mine. It was in the garage and I was standing on a bit of carpet, but still there was the concrete garage floor, which was not very warm. So instead of coming from my toes and my feet to my ankles and then going halfway up my calves, it actually went right up to my knees. Even including my knees, everything was just so cold that I could barely feel it. Looking after myself, I decided I didn't want to do that job anymore, so we're still friends, but I just don't help him out in the garage anymore. One of the things you have to do to look after yourself, right? Say no every once in a while. So I used to suffer from this just about every day, and now it's very rare. It's on occasion now, because I know how to look after myself now. If somebody says you want to go skiing, I say no thank you. Things like that. Other than that, I dress for the weather. It's very important for me to make sure I have enough clothes on and, you know, have my good winter socks, etc. What I did notice as well is since starting Reiki, my hands have been a lot warmer. When I do Reiki, my hands heat up. Every person that I do Reiki on says that. So I think Reiki has helped me as well with overcoming Raynaud's disease. Doing the self-Reiki, especially doing the self-Reiki for the first 21 days after being attuned for Reiki 1 and doing a course for Reiki 1, so many things happened and so many things changed. I was able to do self-Reiki twice a day So I've been one of the very lucky ones, because there were people in the same class that couldn't do it every day, and they kind of like it, maybe they weren't so driven to improve their health or something like that. But I had been looking for something, obviously, to help with Raynaud syndrome, as well as some other things, as you can see in my other videos. But since doing Reiki and practicing self Reiki, now not every day but very regularly, and also every time I do Reiki on another person, a little bit of the Reiki stays within me, and it just warms me up, and it really helps, not only with Raynaud syndrome or Raynaud's disease, it helps with all sorts of stuff. So the more Reiki I do, the better I feel, and I would just like to continue forever and ever. So Reiki is really good for anything. It can help with everything. Have a look into Reiki if you want to do something for yourself that's natural, because all it does, it comes out of your hands. It doesn't come out of a pill or anything like that. And because you're looking after yourself with your hands and with your energy, your energetic body gets a lot better. And once your energetic body is a lot better, your physical body will become better. I mean, one of these things is me overcoming Raynaud syndrome. I'm very much a lot happier than I was before, because I'm a lot warmer, and it is without paying for a massive power bill as well. So it does help. Everything helps. Look after yourself, do what's right for you, and say no if you have to things that don't sit well with you or are not good for your health. Very big thing that I've had to learn and that I'm doing now. So I'm happy, I'm warm, and I wish the same for you. Look after yourself, and we'll see you next time.